about to be on our way.
Well, here we go. Game one on its way. Bound gonna be the first one to the outside, but Luminom with that long range mouse and keyboard shot. I don't know if you want to take that challenge for too long, Bound.
Snipe drone wants to try to provide some cover fire, which with the low ground looks like Luminom and SLG already there trying to force their way in. Bound is able to take down SLG, and Snipe drone is going to do everything he can to try to get away with the sniper. Keep in mind, camouflage is coming up as well. Body shot does connect, pushing that player to portal right out.
And folks, if you did notice, you might have just got raided over to the Cloud9 channel. Hey, you're probably here for the first time. Make sure you guys give a quick follow to Cloud9's Twitch channel. Show them some love, as they've been throwing on these Halo tournaments year after year, and I think they deserve a little bit of love if you have the chance.
Absolutely. I have a simple rule. If you support Halo, I support you, and the Cloud9 is doing just that. Meanwhile, formal camouflage and snipe combination. Glory trying to slide into his DMs. He's getting blocked.
That was a sick shot. I thought the follow-up was going to hit too, with the way he whipped that reticle around, but that was not quite going to land. Either way, OpTic Gaming's been scoring this entire time since, and they are still winning the gunfights. This is what makes them so effective, right? Luminon's taking that fight to them. They're holding the ball. They're waiting. They're waiting. They're waiting. Once they drop it, they pounce. They get those couple kills, and they're right back to getting more time. One of the most effective teams at getting that time when they can. Their efficiency ratings are off the chart.
While OpTic is scoring, they're also taking space and also starting a rotation is Legend and OpTic Gaming. Luminom the first one to sneak in, but Legend deals with him, and the cross-map shots from the Renegade covering formal right now. OpTic playing like a well-oiled machine.
Now you see the killing spree out by Legend. He's 5-1 to start this game and has won the rotation for his team with that. Renegade thinking about hitting that nest side, wants to get over towards that tower before this push comes to fruition. It does just that. It's just SLG that can stop him. Great angles to get that first, and SLG might just blow open the position. Triple from SLG. He was unaccounted for, and he spoiled the plans of OpTic Gaming.
Multiple down going OpTic Gaming. We see SLG advancing that ball over toward the tower side. Luminom snatches up that camouflage. This could be the beginning of a comeback for Luminom Gaming.
Now Luminom trying to get away with that camo, but just too many players of OpTic Gaming there to deal with him, and they are starting to win the gunfights to gain positioning on the map. Just SLG trying to hold off a couple players of OpTic, but that is too much to ask. And with that ball down on the ground, Luminom still has the ability to try to get close to it, but you're seeing the difference between OpTic and Luminom in the efficiency of Oddball. That 30 seconds right there is enough for the Oddball to reset. Luminom wasn't able to get any time despite that pressure, whereas OpTic Gaming, a lot of times they'll be able to get that ball and generate time even in those complicated spots.
51 points here for OpTic, but Luminom once again scoring as they go 3 down. An early play ball, but one that OpTic is ready for, right on the ball, and try to bring it over towards the A side. Renegade expects to push from SLG and Luminom, waiting for the spawners to take space.
Legend able to just keep that ball as far away as possible while Renegade goes to solidify the back line with Sniper. The opening slate did go to Snipe Drone. That's going to open up a window for Luminom to collapse in. They're finding the kills, and there are not really any answers here. As Legend's last alive, he'll go down. Luminom with a clean break, something they desperately needed in this game.
76 points for OpTic Gaming, but they've just been wiped off the face of LiveFire here, and OpTic Gaming slowly started to come off his spawn and now started to take space from multiple different angles. Renegade through the front door he goes, wins the 1v1. Luminom start the rotation, but OpTic even able to anticipate that, and they're not able to play the ball. Luminom 4 down.
See, Renegade able to track down Snipe Drone, able to get that kill, and then QT's, oh, Luminom though. Saw the portal, was very aware of what was to come, but during all that chaos, while Renegade's running at those players, Legend's got the ball, and he's just 10 seconds away from getting this first round on board.
Legend over towards tower. I don't see anybody from Luminom able to get that ball out of his hands. Snipe Drone tries to find an angle, but he ends up getting shredded, melted, and dealt with. as OpTic Gaming take that round number 1. And Luminom, you may have had some points where you look like you're about to make a run, but OpTic Gaming showing why they are the best oddball team in the league.
See, all 4 players of Luminom essentially funnel into that sniper. It's enough to get Glory away with it, but you see how he's wasting that ammo. He's going to try to minimize what OpTic Gaming can get away with. He does that because Luminom loses a lot of their numbers early on into this fight. And by the time it's done, he'll waste all 8 bullets. So no sniper for OpTic Gaming to solidify their position with.
Couple shots of the Wutum. Oh my gosh, Renegade takes the pin and wins it out. Even some extra damage onto SLG. Expect that to get cleaned up real quick. Meanwhile, Formal with this camouflage doesn't want to reveal his location just yet. Teammates are still finding kills around the map.
Glory did spot him. That's going to force Formal out of this spot, but even in the 1v2, trying to make himself a difficult kill, but maybe a little bit too much to ask of any individual player in that spot.
Way down go OpTic Gaming. Luminom once again in control. They're going to be the first ones to score in this round number 2, down 0-1, but Formal seemingly coming out of nowhere, immediately attacks the ball player, but Glory goes right after Formal as well. 3 down go OpTic Gaming. Luminom back in their setup.
And this is where Luminom's gotten a bulk of their time throughout this game thus far, is when they get those 3 downs. It's been rare, but when OpTic Gaming does go 3 down, Luminom's taken advantage of that, has gotten quick ball time. You see they're going to be able to scrap away 20 seconds off that single play.
Now starting to get aggressive here. Wutum expects that, finds the angle, finds the kill. Glory making sure that he doesn't go down here, and sends 2 players packing right off the map. Watch your step, mind the gap.
So well played. They had no idea that Repulse was ready for them, and both of them go into the drink, and that's another situation where it's a 4 down that Luminom's able to grab ball right away. This seems to be where they're the most comfortable, and right now that nade takes Bound down to what? You see the kills just keep stacking up for Luminom. OpTic Gaming struggling on getting their trade outs here, but Legend forcing the play. See Snipe Drone puts that ball onto the ground, but Wutum wastes no time just grabbing it and said, no, I'll just move it the other way.
Ever since the Repulse got moved over from bottom mid to from the bottom green side of the map, it feels like we've seen less of those ever since that move, but always fun to see a bit of a mind the gap. And also Legend, OpTic on the camouflage. Luminom may have the lead, but OpTic Gaming want to make some plays.
Basically gave himself a 50-point buffer to work with, but OpTic Gaming, what makes them so deadly at oddball is it doesn't really take them a lot of time to get back into games. They'll find windows to grab ball and to maintain in these tough positions. And even then, right, Formal's feeling that pressure, he holds that ball for as long as possible. And you're going to notice that a lot from OpTic Gaming. They aren't a fan of dropping that ball to engage in gunfights. They'd rather try to keep that ball fluid in motion and try to keep it away from those gunfights if possible.
Legend ends up dropping the snipe. Wutum gonna be awarded with that one, and Wutum right at Formal sees Renegade coming and somehow is able to turn it the reach out. Wutum is all over the place.
That's scary when Wutum gets the sniper in his hands like that. I mean, look, the sticky didn't work. It looked great, but just a little bit off. You have the sniper in the back pocket as backup, and he hits the shot like it's the smoothest thing in the world. It's so fun to watch Wutum play that mouse and keyboard setup.
50-22 lead here for Luminom Gaming. Glories one shot in the sniper, all that he needs in order to take down Legend. But it is Bound and OpTic Gaming to try to rotate this ball away from the remaining members of Luminom, who are finding kills left and right. Now they're looking for Renegade.
And timing just a little bit off there for OpTic Gaming. They weren't able to get those spawns to be close enough to help with those gunfights, but and then their response pretty quick, able to get 2 down right away, and you can see Luminom forced to put that ball onto the ground. They aren't going to try to scrap away any time here, instead trying to find themselves a home to fight out of.
Both Legend and Renegade somehow survived despite being one shot, and once Legend gets his shield back, he's on attack mode right away. Half members down from both of the squads here. Glory just waiting for the rest to push in from OpTic. SLG and he worked on 1. It looks like 2 quickly go down for OpTic Gaming.
30 seconds on the ground. That ball once again hits that reset. One thing we notice, right, whenever that ball's reset from being on the ground, it's always been off a Luminom play. OpTic Gaming hasn't had it where they've thrown that ball on the ground and the ball's reset from there. They're usually very quick to get back onto it and try to maximize their time, whereas Luminom, unless the situation feels right, they're going to play that ball down.
Less than a minute and a half worth of neutral time right now, and it's still a 30-second advantage for Luminom, but I do say that as they go 3 down, so all of the tools end up in the hands of OpTic Gaming, and also the ball.
And look, they got halfway through their comeback the first time they grabbed this ball. This is their second chance with this. They have camouflage. They have everything they need to get a good chunk of time here. You see Renegade starting to get into play. He's not going to let players just walk away. No, he's going to hunt down all 3 of these guys. That's the second. Where did SLG go is the first question on Renegade's mind.
Ball drop.
Renegade mowing them down right from the bottom mid side through the top mid, but not exactly sure where SLG can be at the moment. Doesn't end up finding himself Wootup, and here comes SLG picking up at least one of the kills over toward the back A side. Renegade still moving around with the camo.
Oh! SLG came to help. It came to his demise, though. Renegade gets the kill, and more importantly for OpTic Gaming, he stays alive. Now, with just 50 seconds of neutral time remaining, OpTic Gaming has taken the lead in round 2.
A tight game here so far. Luminom Gaming expecting to go right through the top mid-side bound. One shot has to try to find an escape route. All of OpTic seemingly trapped in the rat tunnel as they try to rotate this ball away. Glory makes his presence known with the sniper. Renegade's gonna get that right back in his hands. And off a screen formal right at SLG, leading to Luminom going 3 down.
Just Woodham, the last alive, and he's gonna get hunted by these remaining players. A quick answer back, and that's gonna make it tough for Luminom to just have numbers to fight for this ball. And OpTic Gaming focusing more on the slays here, as they knew they had a big advantage. They'll get their ball right back into hands, and they're gonna send that over to the other side. Oh, Renegade had a chance for the black screen flip, but not able to hit that headshot.
No scope connects. Formal gets a kill onto Wootum. It looks like the ball gets played right off the map here. Glories and Luminom get it right on. I think they have 1 second in order to grab that ball, but they're not there. And my gosh, OpTic Gaming once again showing why they're the best in the league.
I'm a little clumsy. And the Zeddies, they come in clutch. Always gotta have a pair of the backups.
You only step on things, you don't wear your glasses. Wear the glasses. You wanna
I be saying it. I go take a nap, bro. That's, you know how I'll be.
Tired of a one apiece here in the early game. Glory's the one that gets away with the red gun. Stalker rifle in hands, but not for long. Formal with the double, almost gets himself one more. Snipe drone over toward the bottom C side, gets his teammate a spawn, and Snipe drone takes down Renegade.
Formal able to track down Woodham there, gets the 3 shot to get the perfect medal. And so far, this red gun is just well positioned from Formal, keeping himself in that in those long sight lines. And it's very scary when Formal has the red gun, because very rarely does he miss. One of the best pure aimers in the history of controller esports.
Down with 2 kills right now in Luminom, trying to mount a coordinated attack over towards that B street side. But looks like multiple members of OpTic are blocking that line of sight. And as the pings go down, you know there's a weakened member of Luminom now too. SLG the first one to fall, but Wootum finds his courtesy of a melee. Now Stalker in his hands, and oh 360 there.
Yeah, with that Woodham is dangerous. One shot left, he's gonna waste that one, put the red gun. And that's the big thing, is he can tell his team, right? 1 minute, that red gun's gonna be coming back up on its pad. Make sure you get to that Stalker rifle. One of the big pieces of information that these guys are gonna relay to their coaches.
3 down go Luminom. Formal and OpTic Gaming now want to try to find out where those spawners are coming from and how are they going to attack them, punishing Luminom potentially for going multiple down. Formal and OpTic from one side of the map to the other. They have a 1 kill advantage.
That's just a 1 kill difference. That Renegade will extend out. Big win onto that gunfight against Luminom. That's going to really take a lot of the teeth out of that initial push with Luminom. You can see that they're struggling on just finding where their entry is going to be and spread across the map. Luminom spawn immediately is in trouble as Renegade doesn't miss a shot. He catches Glory in his hiding hole. That's a 4-kill lead now for OpTic Gaming.
Camouflage about to come up here at Legend, down to 1 shot, can't quite get his hands on it, but multiple down for OpTic Gaming, so Luminom should be able to grab a hold of it. Wutsum that gets the camo to kill, but can he get out? Because Renegade and OpTic Gaming continue to press the issue, and eventually a stray grenade takes down the camo player.
Players that are lurking up to that purple side. It's still Glory that's been harassing on this back rank, but taking care of Bound, not going to hesitate at all to get that challenge. The rest of Luminom comes in, but it's a meat grinder that awaits them. Formal comes to join the fight. That's a 3 that go down for Luminom and a 6-kill deficit. It's just been slowly growing for OpTic Gaming, a very consistent trickle of kills that keeps going their ways.
Formal goes down for only the 3rd time so far in this game. Not a bad game coming out of him, but also Glory putting down some damage. Legend by himself towards back A. I think Luminom are able to identify literally just that. Legend down to 1 shot. He goes in for the challenge. SLG with the kill, but Renegade with the follow-up. 7 kills. The difference still OpTic Gaming in control.
Look at Renegade fly. I mean, there's no hesitation on any of these choices that he's making. He just wants to get in these gunfights, feeling confident so far in this game. There's a big reason to it. They've had a consistent lead throughout this game. Luminom has not been able to punish any of the aggressive plays of OpTic thus far.
OpTic already up 1-0 so far in the series, and if they continue to go this way, could be 2-0. Luminom looking for a bit of a new strategy here in order to attack OpTic Gaming with long-range shots. Formal connect with the Stalker, but a double push from Luminom. Clear out the arcade side immediately. Now Bound left by himself. Wutsum puts that Stalker to work. 3 down for OpTic Gaming.
That's the first time we've seen Luminom really catch OpTic Gaming by surprise. That double push, no one saw that one coming, and by the time Formal could react to it, it was too late. It's just really well played there by Luminom. But at the end of the day, you still look at the deficit, it's still 6 kills. And this is what's been hurting them so much. Renegade once again finds another entry frag.
Couple trades go down. Trades definitely favor OpTic Gaming until the back smack from Wutsum turns that into a double. Camouflage about to come up here. Only down by 4 kills. Luminom definitely out of it just yet.
Gone incognito. SLG gonna try to find his path to an early kill here. But not anything that's going to be free. And you see the trade outs favoring OpTic Gaming once again. The lead just really stagnant at this 5 to 6 kill range. Luminom, they're going to be running out of time here soon. You have probably one more team fight that can be even on the trades. After that, you'd have to start making up the difference.
Luminom wanted to do everything they can to stay alive with that camouflage. Highly unfortunate here. Down 1 shot still. Pressing issue. 41 kills for OpTic Gaming. Snipe drone on full retreat. He knows OpTic, they smell blood in the water and they want to strike.
Formal lurking, knowing that he doesn't have to force anything here of how big the lead they have is. Instead, just waiting for a coordinated effort. Legend gonna give him a lot of information. Once Formal knows it's free to go, he's gonna go. And there it is, the one-on-one snipe drone goes down. That's a 10-kill lead now as Glory gets it back to single digits, but I mean, it's just too little too late at this point. 5 more kills for OpTic Gaming. Luminom need 14 as a team.
On that trade here, made 15 and 6 for assists to go along with it. The leading point man for OpTic Gaming. He also gets himself a Stalker and perfect shots, a bit of patient ones. At that, 3 more kills needed for OpTic, make it 2, and potentially, not quite there.
I mean, that's one of the reasons why Formal's had such a great stat line. I mean, because that red gun's been perpetually in his hands. Fun one to have. It shows how dominant your team has been.
Gonna start on board now with SLG. Actually, I want to switch over to Snipe Drone. Looks like he's trying to get out of this shrouded bottom mid with the camouflage. Sneaky plays being made by Snipe Drone, but ones that could pay big time dividends towards the end of this game.
like the patient play. Like Snipe Drone doesn't have to force anything here quite yet. Big thing is he wants to get away with that shock rifle. He doesn't want to reveal his position, and right now he will have to. When he goes into B, you see how OpTic Gaming immediately reacts? That's because he stepped into B. They saw that in progress. Formal able to shut that down with his teammates there, and just that's tough, right? You need that camo to do a little bit more there.
On top of the double out of Formal, and turns into a whole lot more once Legend gets involved. Two bases already belong to OpTic, going for a momentary trip cap, but swapping out both Alpha and Charlie. I think that's exactly what OpTic Gaming want.
Legend not going to be able to get away from that fight. Luminom getting the double kill there. Formal, the only player alive, but he is winning the rotation over at C, and they will find that secure. So Luminom going to be one step ahead right now with tempo, but not quite able to get that trip cap into effect like they would like to have.
Luminom scoring here, holding on to both Alpha and Bravo. The reset goes down on B as Luminom simultaneously looking for some slays across the board. Is the bottom tower side that goes down, but Renegade on the cleanups. Snipe Drone right at bound. Bravo will officially change hands here as OpTic gain a bit of control.
Good patient play by Snipe Drone. He has to let the hill go, but the reward is getting an easy kill on the way out and just jumping right back in. Not able to get the finish, and Renegade's going to be close by to try to stall that, but it looks like Luminon able to step in time, but comes at a steep cost. 3 players that go down. B switching hands once again. OpTic Gaming remain one step ahead.
Yeah, I'm hoping about 20 seconds here. Now on your screen is able to get away with 3 grapples. This could be huge. We just try to steal away that camouflage or take an entirely different route through the gold side, defending B while grabbing a hold of the shock bound, puts it to work and trades out gold.
Camo up, and SLG will take that as his prize, but can he get away with his life? That's the second part of this. Great movement from him, using that technique to jump on the side of the box, trying to minimize where grenades could hit him from, but just immediately spotted, and he is not getting away. They are tracking him down. Look at that. 3 different players of OpTic Gaming just lining up on that camo player. There was nowhere for him to run.
64 points and counting here for OpTic Gaming. Luminom stopped the triple cap by going after Alpha, but look how quick OpTic are to attack. They're pressing forward. Wootsum wants to get involved here, finds the angle onto Renegade, but it looks like Bound is actually going to join them over on the elevator.
Tracking back towards Formal, but no, goes down to Absolute. Can he actually get his shields back, though? Yes, he'll have a second chance against Formal.
Wow, Wootsum turning lemons into lemonade right there. Everywhere he was going, OpTic were blocking it off, and eventually fights his way through it. Alpha changes hands, already had Bravo, but OpTic trying to steal away B right here, right now. They're gonna get it.
Oh, Renegade nicely played. Double kill from him. He'll get to 9. Oh, Bound! There was maybe a hair to shoot there. Was able to get that window to connect, and boom. You see Luminon in trouble. They do not have any spacing on the map. They're going to work on getting C as their home, but they're going to feel the pressure right away, most likely. OpTic Gaming forcing a play as you see these guys sprinting to get into a trip cap situation once again.
And OpTic not allowing the game to come to them. They're the ones setting the pace here. They're flying at Luminon Gaming. OpTic double cap and 100-point lead.
Snipe Drone trying to bait this player down into him. Whoa, that's a melt. Forward didn't even have a chance to react to anything there, and he might just get another really great shots from down low. It's really hard to shoot up like that, and he didn't miss one.
Will change once again. OpTic have their sights set on Alpha, just out rotating Luminon every given turn. Luminon have to slay and keep up with the speed of OpTic Gaming. Easier said than done as nades trade out and OpTic Gaming continue to score.
Tempo plays a huge factor in the strongholds, because even if Luminon gets into the hill and scores 2 at once, if they don't have tempo on the next play, then OpTic Gaming can just get into a hill, and if they stand in while a 2 cap's in effect, like, they stop the scoring. of Luminom. And that's what's been happening so often is Luminom gets their points and then OpTic Gaming is immediately into the next hill. That might change here because they got that 3 down. But you can see once again, I mean, look how aggressive OpTic Gaming has been time and time again. They need to punish it just one time, and Luminom with that grapple might have just done that. A killing spree for him, a 4 down, and this is what we talked about. What does Luminom want? Total control. They have it. 2 points for every second. The spawn traps over at Long Haul. This is what they've been playing for all game long.
OpTic Gaming may have a huge lead, but Luminom have a Wutum. 19 kills, only died 12 times, leading all slays across the board. But isn't enough here as OpTic Gaming chasing down Sniper Drone and capping bases at the same time. Legend finds his, Alpha changes hands, and once again, OpTic Gaming are scoring it. Good God, the MVP doing his thing.
That was absurd from Legend. Get dived right in, gets that kill, and now finds another perfect. That's back-to-backs from him. 13 kills, 7 deaths, and 10 assists. Oh, that's 5 in a row for Legend. He gets his 14th on the board.
162 points for OpTic Gaming, triple cap once again, and it looks locked in right now and almost like a chokehold. Luminom, if they don't stop it, they may just tap or pass out. 178 points now as OpTic Gaming creep over toward the 200-point mark and get better and better with each passing second.
SLG gonna be able to have a contest here, but Bound, that's the Bound play, right? He is one shot and not backing down from the fight. In fact, he's closing the space on his opponent. He's able to get the kill and then also damage onto the second. Glory eventually gets that last lap, but you can see that hyper-aggressive play coming through.
Luminom Gaming scoring here. Glory take the 1v1 against Bound. Both players one shot, both players go down, but it's Luminom that have the numbers advantage. Because of that, you steal away Alpha and Charlie. Renegade puts down some damage trying to cover Legends back from across the map, but Luminom now starting to shoot straight and really starting to do some serious damage on the map.
I love that from Renegade, right? Use the geometry, be in a unique spot, because, you know, players aren't ever going to be pre-aiming there. You can be a little bit more aggressive and try to get damage down. He did just that. Was able to get an extra couple bullets in, then change his thought process towards A, got that kill, secures a hill. It's just a nice natural flow of trying to do maximum damage. That's like the thought process for Renegade, and it works so well there. You can see just to the final stretch. They only need 45 more points from this spot, and with it, OpTic Gaming have Luminom in a stranglehold. I just don't know where these guys can really bounce out of.
Luminom Gaming not giving up whatsoever here. They're gonna attack Bravo. Not able to convert it just yet here, so OpTic continue to score, and Renegade on the reset real quick. This really feels like the final push. Luminom Gaming now need this more than ever, and a Renegade with the green gun gets himself yet another trade. 3 down go Luminom, and I don't know where SOG's gonna go right now. He's surrounded, he's taken down, and OpTic Gaming may have just done it. OpTic Gaming have become your champions.